Hey everyone, hey Capricorn. Welcome to your messages for the month of September. There was some technical difficulties that happened while I was giving you your reading. I had finished recording, and when I opened your video, there was no sound. And for some reason, it was sped up very fast. So instead of pulling your cards all over again, I am going to just kind of give you a rundown for what came out in your reading. I still have your cards here. I was running out of time, so I couldn't really re-record your reading. It happened to Virgo as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and just give you guys a little bit of a rerun of your reading, or not a rerun because you guys obviously are seeing this for the first time. But before I jump into it, Capricorn, this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of September. Please check your rising and or moon sign for deeper resonance. Take what resonates, leave what does not. I'm reading for both sidereal and Western astrological charts. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because I don't have my mic set up right now. So yes, I did have to take a break. I had to go to work, and I'm back now. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about what's going on for you guys in the month of September. Just like I've been telling Virgo, I think I've been telling everybody this, hopefully. I can't really remember, but this is a month number 9. September is a number 9 month. So at least in our modern day era, when it comes to time and calendars and days, weeks, months, years. So Capricorn, just understand that this is a month of a deeper understanding of what needs to go. Okay, it is a month of endings. Okay, and I'm sure you guys have heard, on social media and things like that, where numerologically speaking, we are in a year number 9. So once again, this year can feel very grueling. It can feel very frustrating and feel like, why is this happening to me? Why am I not getting what I want when I wanted? Why is this not working out? Well, it's more than likely because there are some behaviors, thoughts, feelings, relationships, money habits, or just habits in general that need to get tossed out. Okay? They're just no longer working for you. When it comes to Mother Earth, when it comes to feminine energy in general, when it comes to death and rebirth, usually that cycle, or especially when it comes to birthing new ideas and new journeys, right? A new version of yourself. When it comes to birthing a child, the cycle is nine months, right? So that is a cycle I feel that is very important to understand. So before you can expect a beginning, a new beginning to happen, you first have to also embrace this new ending, or this ending that's been impending for so long. Okay, depending on whether you've been learning your lessons or not. For you, Capricorn, in particular, some of you guys may have Virgo or Scorpio in your chart, specifically in your big 3, yes, but I'm also getting some of you guys may have Capricorn, Virgo, or Scorpio in your, and maybe Leo as well. Leo did come out for you guys in your Venus or your Mars. A lot of your reading had a lot to do with judgment. Judgment of other people, judgment of yourself, judgment from other people towards yourself. There may be relationships that end up having a breakdown or a breakup because of differences or hasty judgments. Okay. You may come from a family who are very judgy. Okay. Therefore, there are those of you have that trait. How can you find harmony with the people that you love despite disagreements, despite misconceptions about the people involved in whatever situation you're dealing with. Where is there a lack of flexibility within your relationships? The month of September is really going to ask you that. Okay. Some of you guys, you are dealing with a soul tribe type of situation. These are, again, this can be your family. This can be a group of people or a number of people in your life that you really have a soul connection with. Now, others of you, soul tribes or soul mates do not necessarily have to be romantic. And they also definitely are not always going to be your closest friends. Some of you, your soulmate is actually a bit kind of like an enemy. They can be like a huge challenge in your life that you have had to put up with for a very long time, because there are some lessons that you need to learn, some fears that you need to face within yourself. And this person has chosen to meet you in every single lifetime to challenge you, and you have to make the decision to cut them off. Not every soulmate relationship is meant to last every single lifetime or for a whole lifetime. Sometimes there are some soulmate relationships that become so toxic because one or the other person does not want to get it together. They don't want to build rapport. They don't want to be in harmony. They just want to create chaos on a deeper level for you. So there are some relationships that, you may be faced with, and you may have to make the decision, you know what, this is toxic, this is codependent, or this, I just feel judged and, under scrutiny all the time. And again, I'm really getting some of you guys, this is family, okay? If you are the one that's being a bit judgy, okay, I know that's not really a word, but if you're being judgmental or judgy towards other people, please try to free yourself of that, because that is not a way to live. Please cut it out. Please get your shit together, okay? I beg of you. What good is it? I mean, even if you see that there are people, whose lives you may feel or deem as toxic or irresponsible, whatever, that's not for you to try to change that person. The month of September is teaching you, Capricorn, stop trying to change people. That's not your job. It's no one's job. It's no one's job. Okay? If this is your children, you have to let them fall on their faces. You have to, if you're worried about your children, or if you're worried about the people, and some of you Capricorn, maybe you're not coming from a place of like just being judgmental, just for judgment, just because. Some of you guys, this judgment is actually coming from a place of love, and you're like, I just want the people that I love and care about to be happy. I want you guys to be okay, right? And that's totally fine. Some of you guys are very, very strict when it comes to certain pet peeves, or when it comes to your children, not because you hate them or because you want to see them unhappy. It's because you want to see them happy, and you want them to live a life that you in your mind feel is best for them. But that is not up to you. What is best for someone else it may not be best for the next person, right? So let things be. Let people be. Not everyone has to exist in an agreeable way. Not everyone's existence has to be agreeable to the next person. If you're expecting people to accept you for who you are, Capricorn, then you must in turn accept them for who they are naturally. But I do get the sense that there are those of you do come from a very judgmental family, a judgmental background, and therefore you kind of feel that you need to kind of uphold those traditions, whatever traditions or cultural rules you abide by. So yeah, stay away from that. Now, those of you who, again, there may be some of you guys may find yourselves arguing with someone a lot. There's someone who just likes to argue, or they always like to make sure that you understand that they don't agree with you. And others of you, you may be dealing with someone who is constantly telling you about yourself, constantly telling you you're not doing good enough, or asking you questions. Why do you believe in this? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why are you dating this person? Why? Could be parents, could be siblings, could be cousins, it could be a friend, it could be somebody at work. I don't know. But there is some of you, either this is you or someone else, who just always has something to say about how someone else exists or how someone goes about their lives. And that is not your problem. And it's not their problem either. So some of you guys may find yourselves put in a position where you need to tell someone, hey, respectfully, that's none of your business. Respectfully, you can back off. You know, I just get the sense, okay, one of the cards that did come out for you, it was detached from drama, the Pallas Athena. Energy healing also came out for you. Choose peace, positive change, all of that. Like all of these good things. Choose that. Choose positivity. Choose optimism. Choose peace. Choose prosperity. Drama, gotta get tossed out. You know? You don't need that. There's a lot of pride and a lot of ego mixed into this too. So these fights, these arguments, these like drama-induced conversations, gossiping, what have you, it's never really going to end until you put an end to it, Capricorn. So some of you guys, once again, you may find yourselves needing to distance yourself from your family or distancing yourself from a family member, distancing yourself from a friend, maybe distancing yourself from your significant other's family, the in-laws, I don't know. Maybe distancing yourself from people at work who like to gossip a lot. If the people that you're hanging around, Capricorn, do not embrace you fully for who you are, even when you're at your lowest, even when you make mistakes, are those really the types of people that you want to hang around? People who hold you to a certain standard that they don't even hold themselves to? You know what I mean? Do you want to be uptight all the time? Do you like how, honestly, it must be, for me, looking from the outside in, Capricorn, it looks so tiring to have to judge people all the time. That just sounds so tiresome. It sounds exhausting. Why not just live your life, right? And if you're dealing with this type of behavior from someone else, maybe just ask them the question if you would like, you know, depending on what's in your sun, moon, or rising. Some of you guys may not be as vocal about it, but I feel like a lot of you guys, Capricorn, you have no problem being vocal about BS, okay? But for those of you guys who are not as vocal, maybe you just need to distance yourself, just kind of create distance, you know, maybe not say anything about it, just allow your absence and your distance to be the communication that's needed to help someone understand that you've had enough. But others of you, you may need to just kind of pose the question to someone and say, you know, aren't you tired of judging people? Like, what's happening? And again, this person they feel like they're in the right and they're just like, I'm not judging you. I just want you to be happy. I don't want you to be hurt and blah, blah, blah. Like they may wrap it up in a pretty bow and make it sound like, you know, I'm not trying to hurt you, but you're not happy with this type of judgmental behavior, right, Capricorn? So for those of you who are dealing with judgmental people in the month of September or having to face that, or even judgmental like aspects of yourself within who you are, again, it's that question of like, aren't we tired of this? There are other ways to show concern. There are healthier ways to show concern and love than, you know, just a hammer, you know, just being a metal hammer, right? Sometimes being blunt, there's a time and a place for blunt information, for blunt communication. Okay. And it shouldn't necessarily always be a constant thing, right? When you're beating someone upside the head too many times, right? If you're hitting someone or causing any type of trauma over and over again, you end up beating that person down to the point where they're weakened. You don't want that. You don't need that, right? You want to use brute force communication wise when it's desperately needed, like be honest, but you don't always have to be brutally honest and blunt. So if there's someone here who is doing this to you, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's grandparents, I don't know. I feel like this can definitely be within family dynamics where someone doesn't understand, hey, pull your energy back and allow Capricorn to be themselves. Just let them live their lives, right? Let them breathe. There's someone who just doesn't understand it. Just give space, to hold space for you. I also got that some of you guys may be pregnant, or you're thinking about getting pregnant, or maybe there is a romantic commitment that you have with someone, but you guys don't necessarily see eye to eye. You don't always have to see eye to eye, Capricorn. I have a lot of Capricorn placements in my chart. I'm not going to really say where, but I had a friend who told me a long time ago, when I had gone down the path and, embarked on this journey of changing my spiritual beliefs, right? And because she had similar spiritual beliefs that I did back in the past when we first met, she was very devastated to know that I was switching up my spiritual beliefs. I was veering more towards a different type of spiritual belief that worked for me, that was helping me grow, right? But for her, she felt very abandoned, right? She felt like I was abandoning her, and that we wouldn't have the same values because of having a different spiritual belief. But you know, um, being the person that I am, I just told her, I said, hey, and she did, kind of threaten, well, not threaten, but, I'm sorry I'm talking about myself, but I'm giving an example, Capricorn, because me having strong Capricorn placements in my chart, and understanding tradition, and understanding, like, coming from a family background where, they can be a bit judgmental, and having judgmental friends as well. It's like, you know, you may have friends and people who say, I don't know if I can really hang out with you anymore, or talk to you anymore. That's what I was told by a good friend of mine. They felt abandoned. They felt very abandoned because I made a life choice that had nothing to do with them, right? But they were triggered, and I had to just let them know. I'm like, I don't remember us being friends because of our religious beliefs. At least that's, am I mistaken? Right? Are we not on the same page with that? And they had to really sit with that and decide, like, is this a friendship that I want based on religious beliefs, or do I really care about this person more than my own spiritual beliefs? And we're still friends to this day. I love them to pieces. So it's kind of like that. It's like there are people who may be triggered by the fact that you are just living your life and you're existing in your own natural habitat, your own skin. And for some people, that's triggering because you're in some ways, Capricorn, showing them a mirror of themselves and what they're lacking. And there are some people who may feel abandoned by you because you're making these decisions, and they feel like, well, I can't go with you down that path. I can't join you, which they can join you. But I'm just getting that what I've gotten from your reading, Capricorn, is that there are people who just do not understand that it's okay to have completely different beliefs, completely different perspectives, and still come together and unite. Right? We have this idea that, you know, if we have two different beliefs or we don't see eye to eye, we're water. It's like mixing water and oil. You know what I mean? But even to some degree, water and oil can mix, maybe not perfectly, but they can still exist together. It's not like they can't, like water and oil can't exist in the same container, right? They can. Um, so it's kind of like looking at it that way. It's like, you're not going to combust because you're in the same room with somebody who doesn't agree with you. Okay? Does that make sense? So just be very careful of your emotions, Capricorn, at this time. Please this is a time of releasing, like releasing anything deep down inside of you when it comes to your deep beliefs, like your spiritual or political or beliefs just about life, your cultural beliefs. You are going to be challenged with that, Capricorn, in the month of September, before this month is out. And you just want to release it. If there are those of you have spiritual beliefs that you just don't agree with, answer that call. Okay? Answer that call. You can still consider yourself, I don't know, a Christian, a Buddhist, whatever. But if there are things that you just don't agree with within that religion, it's okay to still consider yourself a Christian or whatever you want to consider yourself, and still not really agree 100%. Okay? If there's anyone who says, well, you can't be Catholic or a Christian or a pagan or whatever, you can't be this because you don't do this. It's like, as long as you're not disrespecting anyone, or, you know, as long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself, I think we're cool. I think it's fine. I'm just getting the sense that there may be some people, or maybe it's yourself, but I get the sense that there are some people involved who feel that they have the rite of passage to be able to say what you can and can't do, as if they are the ruler of your life, or they are the ones that have sovereignty over your life, or over other people's lives. And that's just not the case. You have sovereignty over your life. You have power to wield your life in any which way, according to the stars. You know, obviously whatever is in your astrological makeup and your birth chart. Like, obviously there are some things that you don't have power over, right? Because of the way you were constructed mathematically, and creatively. But there is never going to be a point in time where another person has sovereignty over your decisions and over your trajectory in life. It's never going to happen. I don't care if it's a king or a queen or a president, a governor, a mayor, I don't care. You have power to wield your magic and your life the way you see fit. You will be met with challenges. You will be met with responsibilities and opportunities. Take them or leave them as you see fit. But my advice is, make sure you are doing it with respect, with integrity, with dignity, with understanding, with kindness and love in your heart, always. And anyone who tries to step towards you and say, you can't do that, you're not allowed to talk like that, you're not allowed to believe in that, who says? Who says you can't? If someone says, I don't want to be in a relationship with you because of A, B, C, or D, guess what? Let them go. Let them do their thing, okay? Because you don't want to be surrounded by anybody who doesn't really wholeheartedly accept you anyway. So why try to make something work? Just because someone's rejecting you, that does not mean that you should try to chase after them. You just let the rejection happen. Flexibility, adaptability, versatility, harmony, forgiveness. Those are words that you need to focus on during the month of September. And peace. Those are your vocabulary words for the month of September. Embrace those traits. What you need to let go of is drama. Okay? Grudges, rigidity. Okay? Let go of that. Let go of those things. Judgment. Let go of being judgy. That's just not, we don't need that in our relationships and towards the year 2026. We are in a year number 9, and we are currently in a month number 9. So before this month number 9 is over, please release whatever you should not be holding on to, Capricorn. So that way when October comes around, which is a month number 1, you can embrace all of the good things that you've been wanting, that you've been praying for, right? You don't want to be blocked in a month number 1. And yet next year is a year number 1. So we definitely don't want to be blocked. We definitely don't want to bring old habits and patterns of behavior into that year, right? So by the time Aries season comes around next year, springtime, if you're in a different hemisphere, you might be experiencing fall season by that time. You want to make sure that you are not, if you're still entertaining these people and allowing these people to judge you and to steer your life the way they see fit, you're going to have a hard time in October. You're going to have a hard time next year. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Wherever you're destined to be, that is where your soul is going to take you. That is where you are going to be pushed. Okay? Whether you like it or not. But what keeps us stuck is a lack of learning lessons, a lack of open-mindedness, lack of open-heartedness. Okay? So you're being pushed toward your destiny, but it's up to you to make it more difficult and stressful than it has to be. It's up to you. Okay. So those are my messages to you, Capricorn. Please just, don't give in to judgment. Be brave. That's also what I got from your reading as well, was be brave. When you have this person or these people, again, those of you guys, if you're pregnant and you feel that you're going to have to deal with somebody being judgmental while you're pregnant or before the child gets here, when they're born, if there's someone judging you based on how you dress or the job that you have or the person that you're dating or about to marry, I also saw that you will be faced, some of you guys will be faced with these people. And those people may have eyes on you, or they may be talking behind your back, or they may say something to you in person. Be brave, Capricorn. If you're met with that type of energy, when you do say yes to yourself finally, and you're like, I'm not going to give in to judgment, I'm going to live my best life. Some of you guys may be met with people who are going to judge you straight up and be like, oh, you're wearing that, or oh, you guys are still dating, or, are you sure you want to be pregnant? Like, you're gonna be, some of you guys are really going to be met with that judgment from people. And you have to be brave enough to say, you know what? Yes, this is my life and this is what I chose and I'm happy, right? I'm happy with myself. Build yourself up. Start doing that work now, Capricorn, before October. I'm just saying, because it seems like there are those of you who have some very judgmental people in your life and they cannot wait. It's almost like some of you guys are dealing with someone who's itching. You're dealing with someone who is itching to have an opinion about you and make sure that you know about it. I don't know who that is, but whoever it is, some of you guys may actually be granted the opportunity to tell them off and to finally say yes to yourself and be in love with yourself and not give two shits about what they think and what they say. Okay? Because what someone thinks and what someone says has nothing to do with the happiness that you're going to experience in the future. Okay? So I love you very much. Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, guys.